Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, and welcome to Alfred B. Del Bello Muscoot Farm here in the hamlet of Katona in the town of Somers. This is one of our many prized parks, and we're very happy to be here today to announce the progress of a major capital project here at this facility, which is beloved by those who come and visit, and then also to talk about an important initiative that our Department of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation has undertaken. To help us deliver that message today, I have with me the Commissioner of Parks, Recreation, and Conservation, Kathy O'Connor, the First Deputy Commissioner, Peter Tartaglia, our Commissioner of the Department of Public Works and Transportation, Hugh Grecian, and we're also joined by Westchester County Legislator Erica Lang-Pierce, who represents the 2nd Legislative District, which includes Somers. It also includes North Salem, Pound Ridge, Mount Kisco, Bedford. I know I sound like a Metro-North conductor, but she has the largest geographic area, and Mount Kisco. And we're very happy to have her here as part of this process. The groundbreaking, the ribbon cutting that we're going to do in a few seconds is representative of a phase that involves the repair and improvement, refurbishment of this main house building, which is $10 million worth of resources. That's a lot of money, but there's a lot of need that was apparent in improving this facility. And through the identification of the Parks Department under Kathy and Peter's leadership, we've made improvements all across this county park system, from the Sprain Ridge Pools to the Washington Headquarters Miller House, the North County Trailway, the South County Trailway. Plans are on the books for Cranberry Lake Preserve, our various golf courses. So many different projects like this one that are important and that we hope will make the facility really survive over the next 10 years, 20 years, to be enjoyed by young people and adults yet to come. I'm going to ask Kathy O'Connor to talk a little bit about some of the improvements that have been made on the house, and then I'll invite Peter Tartaglia to talk a little bit about the park survey, which is a regular activity, but a very timely one. So first, Commissioner Kathy O'Connor. Kathy.
Thank you very much, George. I always like to say, and I'll never get tired of saying it, part of the reason why we've been as successful as we've been over the last 5.5 years is because this administration, obviously headed by our County Executive, George Latimer, Deputy County Executive, Ken Jenkins, our Director of Operations, Joan McDonald, and others have been so supportive of our department. We've got more done, more accomplished in the last 5.5 years than we were able to do in the last 2 decades. Tremendous amount of work. Peter will go into a little bit more detail, but the fact that this beautiful homestead behind me looks like our rendition of the White House, it just makes me so happy, because this park is so unusual. It's not like any other facility that we have. The fact that it is a working farm headed up by our wonderful head farmer manager, Jonathan Benjamin, and his illustrious staff, under the direction of our director, Mr. Jason Klein, Director of Conservation. But it is a super team effort, and working obviously with planning, with DPW and all our contractors, we've been able to do something that we've talked about. And I would be remiss in not mentioning Miss Sue Moga, who is now the president of the Friends of Muscoot. And nobody knows Muscoot better than Miss Sue Moga. So we're thrilled to have you back on board, and we will learn a lot from your comments. But you must be thrilled. The fact that the next step is that you won't be stepping in puddles in the parking lot every time it rains, and it seems to be raining every other day right now. So we are just thrilled with what's been done and what will be done soon. So on that note, I just would like to say thank you to everyone that supports us, the Board of Legislators, and we're so happy to have Miss Erica here today too. We have a wonderful relationship with both the administration, with George, County Executive, and the Board of Legislators, and we're getting things done. And Peter, First Deputy, has really grabbed the capital projects and has made a tremendous turnaround in the last 5.5 years. So that, working with our staff, and we're always happy to have Mr. Dave DeLucia here, who knows every blade of grass in Westchester County and other places. So thank you, appreciate everybody's help. I want to continue doing great things, and this park allows all ages, all ethnicities. It's free at this point, And you can come on any time, and we have our farmers market on Sundays, and you can just come up and see animals and see a lot of cool things. So on that note, thank you very much. Congratulations to everybody for doing an awesome job. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Connor. And as Kathy pointed out, there's an ongoing reason to visit here. Each of our parks have a different set of missions. Down the road is Lasden Arboretum, and we have a Veterans Hall of Fame there. That has a little bit different feel for the active farm that's represented here in Muscoot. And Hilltop Hanover, which is a few miles further down the road, has another different look to it. But as Kathy pointed out, there's a Sunday farmers market that's here. You shouldn't miss it. It goes on through the summer into the fall. There's a lot of great vendors, and you can come and find something of a country setting in a country setting. And so we're very appreciative of Kathy and her team's leadership in helping bring Muscoot back, and also the work of the Friends, which complements the work that we in the county are doing. Next, I'd like to ask Peter Tartaglia, who's our first Deputy Commissioner, to talk a little bit about the park survey that's been undertaken or underway to be undertaken. It's an attempt to reach out to the public, the people that use the various 55 facilities around Westchester County, and to look at how do we improve what we're doing, how do we change the process of making things available in a timely fashion. And it's really, we think, a good way to get input and help reshape the parks beyond just our immediate time in the arena, so that for years to come we have some improvements ahead of us. So, Peter, would you please share that information with us?
Thank you so much. Thank you, George. Thank you, everybody. Before I do that, just to conclude the capital part, there's a reason why we're here today for this survey. We'll hold that off for a second. But we're embarking on a second capital project as well, which is a site work project. So every piece of this park will be touched, from the roadways, the walkways, the parking lot, the walkways, the brick walkways. People come to Muscoot Farm, and everybody out there has taken a large part of this. I know we've said thank you to many people, but we cannot do this without our partner departments. And main to that is DPW&T, under the leadership of Commissioner Hugh Grecian and First Deputy Gail Katzman. You have many people here. You have Rob Lopane, who helped design this upcoming project, who works with DPW&T, but is our rep for all of the parks. Adam Kropinski, who helped design this house behind you that you see on the work on that. Dave DeLucia has been mentioned for he's with Parks. We're not going to talk about him again. Vince Altameri, who has become, and I mean this in the most sincere, good way, the pit bull for Parks on capital projects to make sure they get done correctly. Thank you so much. John Levy is not here today. He was very involved in the design. Nadia Savage oversees the construction end of this. So everything we do here is in concert, and planning as well is involved, obviously, and Rob was in planning when he actually helped design the site work project. So thank you, everybody, for that, and thanks for coming to the Alfred B. Del Bello Muscoot Farm. Now, why are we here for the park survey? Okay, we do a park survey every decade or so. In this case, because of COVID and a couple of other reasons, it was 14 years. The park survey gives us an outlook of where we've been from the last survey to now, as well as helps us update where we need to focus our strategic planning, our programming, our investment, what residents think of our parks and where they're visiting. Well, they like Muscoot, okay, because it was the number 3 in our recreation facilities. Behind the behemoths, Playland and County Center, came Muscoot in our recreation facilities. And that is something to be said. It means it's a destination, it's a local park, but there are people from all over the county coming here, obviously from beyond as well. But this is a resident survey. So this is a good day for Westchester County Parks, Muscoot, and the residents of Westchester County. We conducted this in the summer of 2022. We hired a company, WBA Research, out of Maryland. There's a 95% confidence level in this survey by the way that it was conducted, and equally surveyed throughout the county to hit every neighborhood by zip codes and oversampling where needed, where some people didn't answer in certain areas. And across the board, we have had double-digit increases since 2008, the last survey. 94% of people have visited County Park in the last year. 84% have visited one of our recreation facilities, which is right here at Muscoot. And still our number 1 use is 88% use of walking, hiking, and biking trails. That seems to be a trend for us over the years. Now, overall, we're in the 90s. Value and positive benefits, 92%. People agree it improves physical and mental health, preserves open space, more desirable place to live. 91% have positive impressions of the physical conditions. That's up from 84% in 2008. And that can connect back to what we're talking about here today, about us reinvesting through the county, from the county executive all the way down to our department and contractors, what we've been able to do, and that it's showing and people are noticing it and coming back. 80% are satisfied with the overall value, and 75%, if they had money to spend, would put it back into parks to improve and maintain existing parks. So that's pretty good numbers. I did forget to mention one person, Max Puny of Puny & Sons. They are the next contractor who are here for this site work project. We've worked with them before, so we know that it's going to be great work, and I'm sorry, Max, that I didn't get you in the first go-around. One or two things, and then I'll get off the stage. During COVID, we saw what we thought we knew from site was a tremendous increase in visitorship in our parks. And now through the survey, we've asked those questions. And 43% of residents said they increased their use during COVID. Now, what's important is we asked if you'll continue to do that. 37% will continue to do that. So people were reintroduced to the outdoors, to these facilities, to the animals here, to the plants and flowers at labs, and everywhere you can go, everywhere that we have in our over 50 parks. They like what they see, they're coming back, and it's a wonderful thing. Finally, there's a second part of the survey, which is going on now at all of our parks. It's called a instant input. There's an app. We have QR codes at the parks. They're more specific to the, if you're at a pool, they're going to ask you questions about pools. If you're here, they're going to ask about programming and so forth. So we encourage people when they're out in our parks to please look for those QR codes and give us your feedback, because we do make changes based on that feedback, or we see where we're at. Like, we now have two sports that we didn't have 14 years ago. We've got pickleball, which nobody knew was coming, and we have cricket, which is more of an international sport. But as the demographics change in the county, so do the needs, and that's what we look for, and that's what we act on here. If there's anyone that I did not mention who was not mentioned, the Parks Department, Marketing Department, I have to mention Linda and Lori, because not only do they help the comms office on the 9th floor, but they were instrumental in this survey. They worked with the company on a daily basis. It's not easy doing a survey of this size throughout Westchester County. There's a lot of logistics, and it was a great learning experience, as well as we saw how the process worked. And Linda and Lori were very instrumental in that, as well as the entire marketing team, and Maria and anybody else who's not here today. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Peter Tartaglia, First Deputy Commissioner. Before I bring on Hugh Grecian, who's our Commissioner of Department of Public Works and Transportation, we are almost at the 6-month interval as we approach the end of July, beginning of August, of Groundhog Day. Now, Groundhog Day is perhaps not the most important American holiday. Bill Murray sort of immortalized it forever with his movie. And of course, this Muscoot Farm has also immortalized it with the laying of the first egg to determine whether you're going to have 6 weeks of winter or summer. I forget how it turned out this year, but we want to thank Cluxatawny Henrietta for being the egg layer of choice. And mark your calendars, 6 months from now, it'll be a little colder than it is today. Could still be raining for all we know. Come back here for Groundhog Day. That's going to be Muscoot's unique holiday. We're not going to celebrate any other park, only at Muscoot Farm. So the challenges of tackling capital projects, whether we do them in-house or we put them out, really outside, we really lean on our Department of Public Works Transportation, the Public Works portion of it. Hugh Grecian is our commissioner, has been for the last 5 years. He is a professional engineer by training. He's worked in this department outside in the consultant capacity, and he really knows his stuff. It is good that somebody knows their stuff, because I sure don't know it. But I'm very happy to have you here to chat just a little bit about some of what his experience is in DPW as relates to this site.
Thank you, George. So with any project, any capital project, you need three things. You need a good contractor, you need a good design. This was all designed in-house, and the future work with the site is also designed in-house. And good client, you need all three. And so in our case, working with the Parks Department, they know what they want because they've been waiting all these years for the improvements to be made. And that's very important, that you have to have a direction from the beginning. You know exactly what the client wants. You have a good team to stay on top of the contractors, get it done. And again, everything here has been running smooth. Part of our site improvements will be environmentally friendly. We're going to be using porous pavement in the parking lot. We're putting in walkways next. That's the next phase. That's what Pooney and Company is going to be doing later on. This house was designed in-house, again with Adam and John Levy. And it's just a great experience because they have a lot of expertise in historic restoration, and that's basically what we were doing here. So the Parks Department, by far, is our number one client as far as projects, maybe not cost, but the number of projects and facilities we're doing. I don't know how many groundbreakings and openings I've had since I've been here, but 90% of them have been parks. So it's a great initiative. The Westchester County is blessed with one of the best park systems, county-wide, probably in the nation, and we really needed to put money into it to keep it going. With that, I'd like to, again, thank everybody in my department and Parks, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. Our final speaker is County Legislator Erica Lang Pierce. And when you're a county legislator, I had that privilege going back a number of years ago. You become the chief advocate and the chief cheerleader for what happens within your geography. When you represent a down county district and somebody says, where is Mountain Lakes Park, Ward Pound Ridge, Muscoot, Lasden, many of the colleagues don't know where it is, but Erica Lang Pierce does. And what she's been able to do when we have the capital budget that comes out in October, and then later when it's adopted as part of the regular budget, she understands exactly what's happening in her district. She understands who uses it and why they use it. And she wants to make sure that this area of the county, which many times can feel like it's forgotten, White Plains is a bit of a distance from here, and the perception is all the decisions are made for the benefit of what's happening down county. But Erica makes sure when she's at the table that the interests of this district are at the table, which includes the interests of Muscoot. So I'd like for her to share her thoughts before we cut the ribbon. Erica.
Thank you. So in addition to the parks mentioned, we have Mearstead, and for those who live up here, the North County Trail is a huge resource, and now we also have Hilltop Hanover Farm, while technically not in my district, is just over the border. All of these facilities are so important to the quality of life here, and so the investments that we've made in infrastructure through the capital projects and in programming, that operational investment is so important for everyone who lives in my district and everyone who comes in to visit in my district. It brings people in, it brings tourist dollars into our community, so it is really, really important. I do want to add there is an environmental benefit to all of these parks and the programming that's going on up here. The site work that's coming to Muscoot has a tremendous environmental benefit. All of our trees up here are carbon sinks. Hilltop is a fabulous spot now for environmental education. We really are stewards of our air and our water up here in my district and in our county parks, and I am so very thankful for everyone who is working hard, this team behind me, the staff from Muscoot. Muscoot will forever have my heart, even though I love all of my parks equally. Muscoot is definitely a little favorite. We really appreciate it as residents of District 2, and I will keep fighting for these parks because they are the heart of our community. So thank you so much for everyone who's worked on this project.
And Erica loves all of her parks equally, and I love all the county legislative districts equally. So I think it's time to cut the ribbon. I don't know if we're going to have professional help to do that. I must say I like the color of ribbon. Works out good. It was color coordinated. So can I ask our staff how you want to handle this? And there's the ribbon. Okay. Just be careful. Yep. Kathy, I'm going to give you the scissors to cut. No, I'll stand next to you, and Erica will be there.
Yeah, I just don't want to